there was a woman in their 50s and they were struggling mentally, like they're not feeling good about themselves, they're dealing with menopause, they feel alone, what would be the advice that you would give to that woman?
Yeah, I can't believe women before us have suffered in silence, generations of them. It's crazy.
Knowing that Kokoda was one of the hardest track, top 3 or something in the world to do.
Insects, bites, toilet conditions were appalling.
12 to 20 kilometres a day, uphill and downhill. And
12-hour days, long days, jungle.
Was there a point where you felt like throwing the towel in?
Yeah, day 4, I'd had guts for it. It's never too late. It's never too late to start your journey of health and fitness. And the time is now. Don't be afraid. Don't let it hold you back.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to Motivation Theory, the podcast where we're helping you guys stay motivated and obviously know what to do with your health and fitness. Today we've got 2 very special guests. We have Tracy and Sharon. We're going to be talking about, what are we talking about, girls? We're talking about fit over 50.
Yeah, fit and fabulous, over 50.
So we're both, 50... 54? 55?
55.
So we're going to talk about how these two stay so fit and healthy. They've done some amazing things over the last few years as well, at obviously 50 plus, which we'll talk about today. Let's do a quick recap. So you guys have done Peru, the trail in Peru.
correct, yep.
Kokoda Trail as well,
Yep.
which is nuts. So eight days.
So 8 days on track for Kokoda and 4 days on track for Peru.
To talk about today in today's episode, what we want to do first, guys, is introduce yourself. How long have you guys been training for? So obviously you've been training at the M Theory for quite some time now, but in general, how long have you been working out for?
So I started in my early 20s. I wasn't doing a great deal. I was very sporty at school, but wasn't doing a great deal after I left school, and put a lot of weight on, and now that I'm aware of it, a lot of fat and not very much muscle. So in my early 20s, trying to find myself again and get back into my sport, I went to the gym, and started working out, and I pretty much haven't stopped since then.
Awesome. So that's like 25
yeah,
years.
25
years. Wowza. Tracy, what about yourself? How long have you been training for?
Like Shaz, really sporty at school, got into horse riding, gymnastics, netball, athletics, veered off all of that in my 20s and 30s, back into it in my 40s. So I've been with M Theory for 4 years now.
4 years,
4 and a
wow.
half.
It's gone quick.
Yeah.
It's gone very fast as well.
Part of the furniture.
Part of the furniture, definitely.
And
Tracy lives here.
yeah, I pretty much do.
Yeah.
And 11 years, I reckon, I've been
Okay, wow.
going to
Awesome.
the gym. And it all started with a HBF fun run, actually.
There you go, awesome.
Yeah.
What I want to know as well is say 20 plus years ago, like what's changed in terms of the style of training that you guys do? It's like, I know you guys do weight training with us, but what was it like back then?
Well, I noticed, I did go to the gym back in my early 20s, and it was just full of boys, full of men. There were no women anywhere. And it was just, Arnie type lifting, like the big guns. And yeah, I just felt really out of my depth there. So I found it was easier to go into the aerobics or something like that. That's where all the girls were. Yeah, we just didn't feel comfortable in the gym environment at all.
I agree with that as well too, because it was definitely divided.
Yeah.
So the guys were always in the weights area, and if you were going to do any type of class, it was in fitness aerobic style as well. So yeah.
Where are the girls now?
We are in the gym big time with the boys. Yes.
Lifting the weights, lifting heavy. And what's
Yeah.
your style of training now?
Our style of training is basically strength. The only cardio I do is sort of warming up on the treadie, or my hiking, of course, but we'll get into that later. Strength, 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 love it.
Same here, strength training until it's hike time.
And how has strength training been so important for you guys, especially with where you guys are right now?
Let's see. As we age, we lose our muscle mass and our bone density. This is a real thing. So that hasn't happened with me. I get a body scan, so we know what's going on inside. Have maintained my muscle. Matter of fact, I've got more muscle than I've ever had. I know my bone density is super high, which is where I need it to be. Diet's a big factor of that as well. Just strong, I just feel strong. Trip hazards when we're hiking up and down, you can keep that stability. I've got mega core strength, and I owe it all to pumping weights, really.
Pumping weights, weight training. I was going to say as well, like you at 25 versus you guys now in your mid-50s, like are you stronger now? You'd say.
100%, yeah. Definitely back then you didn't eat a lot. Back when I first started, you 800, 900 calories. The less you ate, the better it was. And yeah, so now I'm obviously very much aware with you guys with nutrition.
So it's the error of eat
I
very
would've had
little. And
barely any muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously injury will then happen. And but so yeah, now with the hiking and that sort of thing, it's really important to make sure that all the groups, all your joints are secure with your muscle as well.
I was going to say, when did you guys make the transition to strength training? Like when did you guys switch on about the importance of that over all the cardio that you used to do?
It was a hard transition, actually. Even when I started at the gym, like I said, about 11 years ago, I was more inclined to go into the group cardio sessions. I felt like, I'd be burning more fat that way. And I was,
Habit.
Yeah, habit. And couldn't go over 1,200 calories. And, I'd go out and do a little bit of weights. But what sort of got me swapped around is I got a personal trainer and made me comfortable with using the equipment and, and held me accountable. And I just sort of started seeing changes and realised very quickly that, that's what it's all about, getting strong.
And with calories, guys, what's the most amount of calories that you guys have actually been on?
2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.8.
Yeah, Tracy.
2,800,
Yeah.
wow.
So Tracy, how old are you?
55.
So 55, and the most calories she's been on is 2,800 calories.
Per day.
Building muscle.
Absolutely,
still
building
staying lean.
muscle, staying lean. What's your body fat percentage, Trace? Like the leanest you've been as well?
Oh,
Yeah.
Gee, I think I got down to 9
9
kilos.
Yeah, 9 kilos of body fat, 100%.
What's that in percent?
I think I
Not
remember you were
much.
14% or something like that.
14%?
Wow,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very, very
by
low.
still,
Yeah.
maintaining, I think,
100%.
29
Yeah.
kilos, 30
And
kilos of muscle.
Weights wise, guys, like what are you lifting in the gym? Like heavy?
Let's see. I can bench press 22.5 kilo dumbbells. Maybe get a 1 rep max
There's
of
guys who
25
can't do
kilo
that. That's awesome,
dumbbells.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deadlifts?
Pull-ups, deadlifts, 112, I think it was.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, yeah, so good.
Leg press is 170 that was for 5 reps the other day. So
That's awesome.
That's
So
good.
we're obviously strong, fit, and it's definitely making that transition to actually work on the strength and that, working like weight training to actually build up bone density, build up the muscle, and just keep feeling strong as we age, basically. That's awesome, girls. I was going to ask you guys as well, so like, why do you guys feel exercise has been such an important factor of your life to maintain that feeling of feeling good in our 50s? Like, why has exercise been the kind of key for you guys?
it's my time, and it energises me. You never feel bad or unhappy leaving a gym. You always have those good endorphins coming through. It's good for my mental health. When I'm running rough, my daughter will always go, "Mum, you need to go to the gym." So away I go. It makes me happy. I don't know. I've run out of words, guys.
That's awesome, though. That's
I agree
awesome.
as well too. Yeah, definitely. For me, it's a mental thing to start with. It's just having that time out as well. Obviously, when I first started having young kids, it was my time out, my hour. Just to reset.
Reset yourself.
Yeah, even though my eating habits weren't great back then, but it was that workout that counted just to keep me going. Yeah.
Yep. Do you guys feel like if you weren't training, do you feel like you could have done Kokoda Trail?
No,
Absolutely not.
no chance.
Good answer.
There was a girl that had done very little training,
Yep.
and she lasted one day.
4 hours.
And was
Can you
4
elaborate?
hours.
Can you
4
elaborate
hours.
what happened to her?
It was just she was overheating. She had 2 porters trying to help her get up the side of the mountain to our first camp.
Okay.
Here's the stability thing. She slipped over in some mud on the way back from the river where we were having a bit of a wash, and she broke her ankle in 3 places. So
Wow, day one basically as
day
well.
one, yeah.
Wow,
so she
that's-
was choppered out the next day.
Yeah, wow.
That sort of opened our eyes to
How
just
dangerous
being,
it is.
being a little more careful as well, and because we wanted to finish. and we certainly didn't want injury to take us out. So we were a little bit overcautious probably after that, but yeah, it was an eye-opener.
Yeah, we slipped and slided a fair bit, but were able to sort of right yourself quite easily.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have to be strong.
We got fined if we did fall over as well too.
Fine.
5 kinner.
And swearing.
And for swearing as well, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the Porters?
Tracy and Graham were up there.
Okay.
We're right up there.
So firstly, like with your travelling and that, for your age, like what inspires people to go to these hikes, these mountains, like Machu Picchu, Kokoda, all of that? Like what kind of sparked that journey for you guys to do that?
Bluff Knoll.
For me, it was, I like the challenge. I love a challenge, and I love it being hard as well too, and the feeling afterwards while you're doing it. It's really, really tough, obviously, in lots of things in life, but it's the accomplishment at the end of it that you get. Although I think we all got far more than we bargained for with Kokoda, because I think we started out like, let's do a hike. I want to climb a mountain. Oh, Kokoda, you know, very blasé. Yeah, we can do that. And then what happened was that it was the stories that were told along the way, and so it was quite an emotional journey we just didn't realise, and I think we all changed when we came back as well.
I was going to say, for those that don't know what Kokoda is, can you like do a summary of what it entails?
So basically, when World War II was happening, most of our Australian troops were over in the European, was it European?
Yeah.
So they were stuck over there. The Japanese decided that they wanted to block Australia from America as well, the ally, and to break that ally up. So they decided to come into Papua New Guinea, which back then was actually Australian soil. So the few troops that we did have, which was very small, unexperienced soldiers, their training was done with broomsticks. They had little to no training at all.
6 weeks, I think. That's
Yeah,
all they
6
had.
weeks, yeah. And then they were sent there to hold the fort back to stop the Japanese from coming in. So what had happened is, very basically, they were outnumbered. It was 10% of us compared to the Japanese. And the Japanese didn't know that, though. And yeah, we can get in more of the story on that one, but...
Going back to, so it was an 8-day trail that you guys did. How long were you hiking every day?
The reason why it was 8 days is because we followed the 39th Battalion, the troops that held off the Japan in Papua New Guinea. So that was the whole tour, the whole trek, what it was all about. And we ranged from 12 to 20 kilometres a day.
Yeah.
And they were uphill and downhill, and
12-hour days.
just 12-hour, very long days.
Woken up at 4, I think, 4:15, on the track by 6, and we'd usually make it into the following camp at sundown, so it'd be 5:30. Long days, jungle environment.
So what made you want to do that in your mid-50s? What was the big push? Is it something you've always wanted to do, experience?
Well, one of our group wanted to do it in remembrance of her dad, I think, yes. And so 2 or 3 of you decided, yep, okay, we'll do that. And then as we were sort of hiking a little bit of the Bibbulum track and doing Bluff Knoll and a few of the other WA hikes, more of us got interested in this Kokoda. I know of people that have done it before.
Yeah.
I knew it was really, really hard.
And what
I
was
had no
what was
idea.
the prep like for it? What did you have to do, and how far out did you have to start really training for that intensity?
I guess we had to, before the intensity came in, we had to start hiking with some weight on our back, because we had to carry a lot of our own gear. And that's easier said than done when you're going uphill with, say, even just 10 kilo on your back and your backpack. So it started with that, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And it grew from maybe 7 or 8 kilometres. I think we were smashing 15 to 20 easily a day.
We won't look under 10 kilometres.
No,
now.
we won't now. No, if it was 7.7, 50. That's better. Yeah.
What was the hardest thing about Kokoda? So that was obviously like, what was the toughest thing about the trip?
I think for me was my knees downhill, which by day 2 or 3 was really starting to affect me. And I borrowed someone's knee brace for my right knee, and then the left knee took over, and obviously then had injury in the left knee. But give me uphill. I was fit enough for what I'd done and prepared beforehand to be able to handle the uphill. The downhill was a killer on the knees.
Absolutely. Uphill specialists, hate downhill, but we did it. We had porters to help us over the tricky bits. Yeah. The hardest thing for me was just trying to get enough rest the night before the next day, knowing what was ahead of us, while battling insects, bites. Food was pretty average. Toilet conditions were appalling. We couldn't really bathe. We were hot, we smelt. It was just, that was doing it for me. So it became more of a mental thing for me. I'm like, I've got to get through this. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Was there a point where you felt like throwing the towel in?
Yeah, day 4, I'd had guts for
What kept you going?
everyone. Yeah, and the fact, like, you know, we've done so much training, we've put our heart and soul into it, and copious amounts of money getting set up. I was like, I've got to get through this. But yeah, for me it was, I had a really upset tummy, so I was struggling. Every 5 minutes had to go off to the side of the track, so I was hurting, yeah.
I remember you saying as well, you're a bit iffy about going to the toilet around other people, so that would have been like, you got through that pretty quickly.
Oh, you get over it.
You get over it pretty fast.
You get over it very quickly. You got to go. It's just, I wouldn't say there's any toilets. I wouldn't really call them toilets, but they're worse than long drops.
What other trips have you guys done at your age?
Last year we did South America for just under 5 weeks. Obviously that consisted of doing Machu Picchu, and that was a 4-day hike, and very different to Kokoda. We had to battle this time altitude. And being in Western Australia, there's just nowhere we can train for that at all. So that was probably the only thing I think that was of a concern for us, knowing that Kokoda was the hardest, one of the hardest track, top 3 or something in the world to do unassisted. So, yeah.
I was going to say, like, if someone, could you explain altitude to someone that doesn't understand that?
The higher up you go, the less oxygen there is to breathe.
Yeah.
So it makes it very, very tough.
Yeah, and it's just constant. We did have a friend of ours that came with us faint a couple of times on the first night, hitting altitude. Luckily, we were there to climatise. So we had a good 24 hours, almost 36 hours climatising before we headed off.
So you'd stay at different levels until your body climatises and then you can go further? Is that...
No, we just sort of climatised in Cuzco, which I think is about 4,000 or 5,000 metres above sea level. And 2 days and then off we went. Yeah.
And what they did it very well, is we would climb quite high, and then for camp the next night, which was always intense, they took us down a little bit. We were still in very high altitude, but it just, you're coming down, so your body just acclimatises a little better, so you can have a better sleep just by coming down that little bit to the highest you've done that day, if that makes sense. Yeah.
But altitude affects you so differently than just sort of normal sea level, because 20 steps, honest to God, feels like 100, maybe 10 times, 10 times the Golden Bay Ladder.
Oh my
you
God.
are knackered.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
You just
so
can't
out of
breathe.
breath.
Yeah.
And you want to breathe in, you can't. It's It's got like a compression on your chest.
Was that the hardest thing about Peru, would you say? Was the altitude and managing that?
Yeah, we got used to it after 4 days, and then I think we were up there for about 12 days, and then there's the positives of altitude. You come back down to sea level, and you are like a superhuman.
Absolutely, yeah.
You are strong. You are fit. You can. It was amazing how we felt for a whole week, didn't we? Just like strong.
We were running down the stairs, up the stairs after that.
Yeah.
Because we hit 6,000 in total. That was only on one day though, so 6,000 metres. And then after that, we were fine. We had a lot of energy after that, which was good.
Yeah.
I love that. And with where you guys are right now in your life and what you have accomplished, what advice would you give other women out there who might be in your age bracket and, you know...
Maybe not wanting to climb mountains, but even like just get fitter and healthier, like what would you say to those women?
it's never too late. It's never too late to start your journey of health and fitness. And the time is now. Don't be afraid. Don't let it hold you back.
Yeah, I feel like too is like you said, you don't have to climb a mountain and you don't have to be there tomorrow, but you just got to start. Like you have to start and start slow so that you want to keep coming back, so you're not too sore the next day, or and just progress.
In terms of like your training as well, like do you guys see yourself like working out, staying active, like this as long as possible? Like is this a lifestyle that you want to keep that movement up?
Forever and ever. Yeah,
Forever.
absolute no-brainer.
So for you guys, obviously you are like through that like menopausal stage and everything like that. How do you feel like that has affected you and changed you? And what advice would you give to other women going through that transition in how to give them their best fighting chance through that stage?
Take it away, Shaz.
Okay, for me, I actually didn't know that I was premenopausal. And I'd gone to the doctors just for my yearly checkup sort of thing. Very rarely do I go. And I, for some reason, just started crying. And she was like, and I said, she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. And then she said, I might get you just tested and just see, because then I was telling her that I'm just not sleeping and I'm just sweating all night, like just having to change the sheets, my pajamas. And
did you have any other symptoms that were really like, holy shit, this is changing for me?
I didn't realise it was linked to menopause, to be honest. I would be at a event or something, and I would literally just feel myself dripping and have to sneak out, go out, get some fresh air, and I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest. I just
was that because there was not as much education around it? Like
Probably.
were you warned about it? Did someone kind of give you guidance to say, hey, this is what could be coming for you, these are your symptoms, like, get ready?
No, not at all. No, nothing. Yeah.
It's different now, isn't it, though?
Yeah, it is. I'm guessing my mum didn't go through it because she didn't talk about it. And
that's such a big shift and a change.
Probably just didn't talk about it.
For like people back then, like they don't talk about their health. It's very
So so she said, how about we test you with some HRT, and I said, yep, no worries. And it changed. Like, I couldn't believe the difference in taking it. Everyone's different, and everyone needs to get obviously advice from their doctor and that. And it's not necessarily going to work for everybody, but it did work for me.
Beautiful.
I stopped just in stupid situations, just sweating and going, heating up, and clothes are coming off, clothes are coming back on, and then the sweating at night time, and they all stopped. Like it was within a week, and it was a massive change, and I'm like, I didn't even
Beautiful.
I put up with this for so long, I didn't even realise.
How do you feel like in terms of like a lot of women put weight gain on, obviously with menopause as well? Like how have you prevented that? Because I know like you're probably the leanest you've been for a long time. Like you're in great condition. How have you done that?
Through cutting.
Calorie control,
definitely.
Okay,
So just sticking with the nutrition. I'm not going to say I'm 100% always on it as well too. I'm more so now at the moment, because I like the cut. But the build was definitely difficult, because although I could see that I was still losing fat, I was obviously putting on a fair bit of muscle as well too, So since cutting, I have lost a little bit of muscle, but I've lost almost 7 kilos of fat, so just since March. But from doing training, so I just feel more mobile as well too.
Beautiful.
So, up to an extra
So through
class
the nutrition and the training, like you've been able to still feel good and like look good and just be where you want to be.
So I feel like there's a bit of a shift as well too, and meds are under wraps.
Beautiful. And Tracy, for you, I remember when, obviously we do like weekly nutrition and that, and I remember when you were going through these changes, and Tracy is someone who prior to menopause, like her body would respond so well and so fast, and top of her game, like on track, peak, just this peak woman. And when her body started shifting and changing, it was almost like a complete switch from day to night, and you know, you were gaining weight quite fast and quite emotional, and it just really switched and changed, and your strength kind of really dropped down, and you know, it was quite hard seeing that shift and that change in you. And just, you know, obviously just seeing that is what happens with like women when they go through this like phase. Like it's really like hard to see.
Yeah, it was hard to cope with.
Yeah,
I
and what was
wasn't
that
quite sure
experience
what
for
was
you?
happening,
Yeah.
and it was like my body was letting me down,
Yeah,
and I didn't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What did
but-
you do to try and get back on track and to?
Well, a friend of a friend put me in touch with an amazing place called the Australian Menopause Clinic.
Yeah.
So, and they're there 24 hours a day.
Beautiful.
So I sort of bypassed the GP because she thought I was suffering from depression, but I wasn't. So, yeah.
And it feels like that though.
It did.
Really
I was,
did.
yeah.
You were like, "What is wrong with
But it
me?
was
This
the
isn't
brain
me."
fog and
yeah.
the vertigo, and it
Yeah.
was just, it wasn't so much hot flashes. They sort of came sort of in this area. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I was so down, and I would
Yeah.
cry at a drop of a hat for absolutely no reason at
100%,
all.
yeah.
And I just felt like I couldn't cope anymore.
And the anger, you had quite a bit of anger as well. come
Yeah,
up.
or
Yeah,
every
yeah,
emotion, but
yeah.
it was all bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And what advice would you give to other women out there who have and are experiencing these shifts and changes to know that, like, what would you give them to help them feel better through that transition?
yeah, talk
Yeah.
to your friends about it, talk to your mum about it, and then
Yeah.
get the help from professionals,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that deal, I think, solely in menopause.
Absolutely.
They're so good and they're so helpful. And the minute you get your medications right, and I was always worried about HRT because
Yeah.
I've heard about breast cancer, and a very,
Yeah.
very slim chance of that. As they said, Tracy, the risk of breast cancer is very, very small.
Yeah.
Or you have the option to try HRT
Yeah,
and live your best life.
absolutely.
For the next 10 years, you're going to be going through this.
Yeah.
So
And
you can either
since-
stay where you're at for 10 years
Yeah.
because you're worried about breast cancer, or
Yeah.
get onto hormone therapy, replacement therapy, and
how's
have
that?
yourself back.
How's that helped you?
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
I'm
is.
back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and it's a constant juggle too.
Absolutely,
with
yeah.
the hormones.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because a small little adjustment
Just small,
can shift and change in the wrong direction as well. So
That's
it's keeping
right.
on track of that, and
Yeah.
with you, with your health and your food and like your
Yeah.
training and really like nailing that, it just helps your transition stay as best as it can as possible.
exactly. And food's really important. You've
Yeah.
got to clean up your food.
100%.
And you can't have those blowouts like
Yeah.
you used to. It's
Yeah.
sort of, it just goes on real quick in the midsection. So
Where you would normally have gotten away with that.
absolutely
you
got
just
away
can't.
with it. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So, doing everything right, hormone replacement, eating as well as you can, and a bit of training, and you will get through these years.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you really will.
And would you say that's kind of been a big factor in how you have been able to do so well with yourselves, with where you're at right now?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely helped.
I think too, because we started talking about it as well, and then others start talking about it, and then you feel like you're not actually alone, that it is a thing, and there's lots of other different variations that you can, do, or, medications and stuff you can try beforehand, and once you find that works for you, you just back on track again. You're still juggling it, but
Yeah.
you're much more back, on track.
Manageable. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is definitely not suffering in silence, and knowing that what you might feel might be completely different to what Tracy feels and everyone
Absolutely,
else, and
yeah.
it's just so different.
And that's okay.
absolutely.
Not one person's the same. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that so many of women before us have suffered in silence.
Yeah.
Generations of
Yeah.
them. It's crazy.
100%.
But now it's forefront. It's on the news for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
I love that.
We need it. We need all the help we can get in this
100%.
time of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask one more thing. So if there was a woman in their 50s and they were struggling mentally, like they're not feeling good about themselves, they're dealing with menopause, they feel alone, what would be the advice that you would give to that woman?
Probably that support group that you were talking about that you contacted.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Australian Menopause Clinic, yeah. Or EMSEE, they're called now, EMSEE. So just give them a ring. They're there to help. They know what they're talking about.
And what advice would you give them to give them the best fighting chance if they couldn't go down that route with their health and fitness? Like, what advice would you give them to, at least put them in the right direction with that?
You got to move. You've got to move. And I think if all else fails, put your sneakers on. If it's raining, put on a little bit of a anorak or something and get out. Get outside, get into the great outdoors and just move.
I was going to say the exact same things. Put your sneakers on and just go for a walk. Put your headphones on and just move.
Yeah.
When you move, and then you'll move in a different direction, and maybe you might, walk into a gym next. It's just you just have to move.
The first step. Yeah.
And that's okay. Just move.
I love that. And you guys are definitely proof that, like, age doesn't matter, and that life doesn't stop when you hit menopause. Like, you can get it under control, you can give yourself the absolute best fighting chance, and you can still fucking climb mountains.
100%.
Still fucking climb mountains. Yes, you can.
100%.
We have another one next year.
I was going to
We have
say,
another one next year, a rather large
is-
one, the biggest one in Europe.
what's next for you guys?
TMB, so it's Mont Blanc. So that's actually 11 days and 170 kilometres.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Staying in huts again.
Wow.
I love that. No, you are definitely very big role models in the gym, and obviously, like, I look up to you guys so much, and I kind of see, where you guys are at and what you do, and just knowing that, like, that you can still have a life during and after, and
Sure
that as
can.
well. So yeah, very inspiring.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you liked the episode. If you liked it, hit us up with a subscribe and follow, and more coming next week as well. Thank you so much, girls. That was
Thank
amazing.
you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Done.
Yay!